Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
Excellent, thanks. Excellent. How's yours?
Yeah, it was good.
That's good. Morning, Hitman. How are you? Daniel, Jim. Hey, Mo. How are you?
Morning, mate.
All right, Glenn.
Hi, Hayden.
The boys are here. Alrighty, so we made a bit of a move early, which is a little bit annoying. But let's do a bit of a quick top down. Going to look for a sweep here. Weekly closed. We closed with a bang on the Friday, but the candle is a bit of a negation candle, isn't it? So we had it's a outside candle engulfing the body engulfed, but we didn't close above the wick. But I'm looking for a bit more momentum to the upside. Be surprised if we just sold off, even though things could be looking a little bit grim with the way that some of these stocks lost a lot of their gains on the Friday. Hey, Alan. Anyway, oh, where's my pen gone? Oh, there it is. Gotcha. So weekly, I'm looking for a little bit more momentum, but looking for a bit of a bottom wick first. Daily, we have a bit of a rejection up here. So this is what I'm thinking, like, the way that the weekly closed, we got a bit more momentum upside. The way the daily closed, I'm looking for it to come back down to a little bit of a support first, before maybe then pushing up. We have, oh, no real zones on that one. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, I'm targeting this area to be the area that we might sweep down to. This is like my make or break line for today. We're either going to sweep and hold and pick up liquidity from here and then start pushing to the upside, or we're going to close underneath it and we can start to see some of this clean run filled up again. I'll show you my zones. Come on, man. There we go. So it's from the high to the open of these two candles. This is what really instigated that huge move down. And then we got the recovery late after the ECB raised their interest rates. I don't mind that we're pushing down. I would have liked to have potentially taken a sell into this buy. But if I miss the sell into the buy, I'll just settle for the buy, which is okay. Can leave that there. Rest of the other zones, next 4 hour zone. If we are going to push up and retest these highs, this is the weekly high, and then we've got this little pool of liquidity right here. So I've got an alert up here as well to see if I can actually maybe take some sells from that zone as well. Then I've got another zone with this wick. So that wick, and then these two candles. These are the 4 hour zones I've got here. Okay, 3 hour. I don't think I saw much on the 3 hour. Yeah, not a whole lot. We've got the monthly levels around here. Yeah, I've cleaned my chart up a little bit. Now the 2 hour. The 2 hour, we've got an Asian session liquidity candle right here, engulfing. But on the lower time frames, there's a doji at the base of this candle. So I was really thinking that mostly this is just going to be filled. I wasn't looking at taking a I wasn't really looking for anything from this zone. Alrighty, now the 1 hour. The 1 hour, we've got another like little bit of a rejection candle. But on the 15 minute, I'll jump to the 15 minute because that's where the fun stuff is. The 15 minute, we've got a support right here, and that support itself, oh, thank you. That support happened in the New York session, late New York session on the Thursday. So that's much better. I like that one. I really like that support rather than this liquidity candle. So as price has pushed down into this area, we've just tapped into the low of this wick. So this is the area I'm really keen to see a little bit of a rebound, and then I'm keen to see it push into this red zone and this is the make or break line for me. So I'll be happy to take buys as long as we're forming support and price action to go long, like rejection wicks. I'm happy to take this side of the triangle. I don't want to take any buys on this side of the triangle until I've got signs of reversal here to then push up. And that could just be a sell to buy move with the German Open. Does anyone see otherwise? Otherwise, if it doesn't give any sell signs, once we break under this area, we've got a little bit of traffic here, but then we've got some fairly clean moves all the way down. We just need to wait for a retest and then make sure that we're not trading on this side of the retest, but on this side. Otherwise, I think we should have a fairly smooth Monday. It does make me a little bit nervous, as always, when we've got no real news. See, I've got nothing. So who knows what kind of economic report that's going to come out, research paper, results that will be released. There's nothing FX traders there. They have nothing. They've got some Bubba report, but that's not to 11. Then we have financial juice. So we've got the yen public holiday in Japan. Yeah, I think we've got a fairly smooth session. Maybe a quiet session. Yeah, someone will just go out and shake things up by saying something. So let's we've got 18 minutes before London Open here. Pound Aussie's in an interesting area. I wouldn't mind sweeping all of these lows, retesting that 1.922 area again, and then maybe start making some of this recovery, because we do have Bank of England interest rates in focus later this week. So I'm expecting that to recover some of this. I wouldn't be surprised if they signal the end of the hiking cycle and we see one more push down, maybe to like 1.91 even, and then we see some of that recovery. Gold had a nice little move as well, just retesting the high from Friday. So Asian session's been better than New York session lately. In terms of like the moves have been a bit cleaner, a bit more trendy. Cool. Alrighty, so that's everything's all set up here. Just gotta wait for some price action now. So let's go to all chart view. Put the 30-minute bottom left. 15 minutes going to be top left. 5-minute top right, 3-minute bottom right. Hopefully we can get a nice 3-minute entry. So a tiny little wick on this 30-minute candle. It would be nicer if it had no wick. On the 3-minute, we've got no top wick. So this is going to become at least a target if we can break down lower. At least back up to here. So if we can push down into this red zone, then at least that's like a 40 pip move back up to here. We've got another one up here as well. That'd be even better. That would be a 50 pip move. 50 pips from around here. That'd be my day done if we do that. If we do this sweep. Any questions, guys?
Pretty straightforward plan.
Yeah, it is a straightforward plan today. Euro high's got no wick on these candles.
I like the daily if we push up quickly for a potential reaction. You've already got that mine marked out, looks like it, on the 30 minutes. Is that what that is? I missed the start of your stream, mate.
What about the third? What about it?
So wait, just down from where you're grabbing now, you've got a little bit of a line that's shooting out from the top of a wick.
This one?
And line up with the daily open, is that correct?
This one here?
Yeah.
It was a no wick candle on the 3
just
minutes.
Look, that's also the daily open. Oh no, it's not.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Hopefully it doesn't fill this candle already. Oh, I didn't put anything in the Discord, did I? Let's go. Oops. So 13 minutes. If it didn't do that little push and take the low of that area I'd flagged already, I'd be inclined to take sells on the open down to fill the wick on the 1 hour candle, assuming that this 1 hour candle would push down and leave a bottom wick and then be pushing up a bit. I'd be inclined to take a sell into that sweep if we hadn't got to this area. Having already reached this little zone and put in this little tail, dipping this little toe underneath it, that makes me think that there's a good chance just here. That makes me think there's a good chance that it's picked up liquidity for a bit of a deeper pullback. That little doji there, I think it's going to be that'll be swept at some stage. That can't be the low of the day. So maybe there's a way to take a sell into a buy. That'd be a bit aggressive. Bit aggressive for a Monday, wouldn't it?
We've already had a double top today. And now closing below the Sydney low. I like this whole idea.
Sydney low's been well taken. Sydney low is that.
Yeah.
This is the Tokyo Asian session.
Nice clean range to build.
Make sure you change your lot sizes if you're trading German, if you're used to trading something else. It's pretty hot there over the weekend, wasn't it, Sydney?
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah, lucky. Bloody raining here now.
I don't know if it's so lucky it's not natural. Well, it's not. It's like 34 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's going to be 34. And that's early spring. You know, that's not,
that's crazy.
That's not great, right? Everyone's like, yeah, great. Yeah, beach weather. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Are you still going to be saying that when it's the rest of the bush is burnt to the cinder in about 2 months' time?
Yeah, gonna be a bad fire season. Well, it's raining here, and it's looking crap, and there's people walking on their way to work. Poor suckers been outside.
Yeah.
We've got rain all the way to Thursday, and then we've got highs of we've got lows of. We're back into the 8 degrees now. Come on, man. It's slow, man. It's eight more minutes. Anyone else have any other ideas? I really don't want to see this taken just yet. I want to see it either push away from here because this has become a target. If it does keep on pushing up, then this becomes a target. So I guess either side is not a big deal, I guess, but I would rather I think I'd rather take longs.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that Lagarde speech in the news that had such a drastic effect on price? Does that linger? I mean, does that echo sort of a lasting sentiment, or is that just a temporary stab and then it largely fades away, that idea or that sentiment?
No, that's the central bank sentiment. They always do a press conference after they do their rates, and it's what they signal for why they came to that reason to hike.
No, sorry. I meant the market responded quite positively. Like price went up. Do you still expect it to trend long for a couple of weeks after that? Because it's
no, I don't think so.
Or is it just a temporary kind of
Usually,
and then it fades away?
Yeah, usually when they signal the end of something, either the hiking or the cutting, every time they hike, generally stocks goes down and the value of the euro goes up. But when they signal the last one, usually get the opposite reaction. So same for cutting rates. When you're cutting rates, you're getting the stocks will be loving it, and then the currency value would be dropping when you're hiking, when you're cutting rates. When they cut rates and signal that this is the last one, normally stocks will have an opposite reaction and the currency value will go up.
Yep.
But you don't know if they actually have done. It's a phenomenon that pairs with the last cut or the last hike of a cycle. You'll see the opposite move. Sometimes you just don't know that they've finished hiking until like they start cutting. Sometimes they leave the door open. So sometimes you got to look at the data and sort of ignore what they're saying, because they don't want to have that kind of effect either, do they? They don't want to shake the market. They don't want to have big drastic moves. That's not their intention. So they always be a bit wishy-washy with this. Like they get some really easy questions from the reporters, and then but this one, she pretty much, like, she backtracked. She said it was that they're at a level high enough that's going to bring them to their target, which means why would raise more? Okay, so we took out that level, which is a bit of a bummer. So could this have been the sell to buy move in that 30-minute candle? Because this 30-minute candle now starting to leave like a fairly healthy bottom wick. If it hadn't quite got to this area, I would be welcoming this move because no real supports had been taken out. But this one did, unfortunately. So I would be pretty confident that the open would be the top of that triangle to target. But because we have taken that support, don't know how much liquidity was picked up here, and just be careful not to trade on this side of the triangle. I do want to see rejection wicks to target down this side. Now we do have another no top wick, so this is probably where price is going to be heading towards. Got another liquidity candle just here. I'd be shocked if this is the low. Oh, not shocked, but if this is the low of the day, I would be quite surprised. So I'm still thinking, the further it gets away from here, I could lean into those sells. This could be a very quick one. Hey Deb. Yeah, my weekend was fantastic. How was yours? Oh, sorry, you say you missed the plan in short. Oh yeah, I had my first plan, my initial plan was longs. What I was waiting for, I was waiting for price to, because it was pushing down quite nicely in this second half of the Frankfurt Open, and it was moving down quite nicely, leaving liquidity zones above, and we haven't really had any, like we pushed up a little bit, but then we've just been selling off. So on the back of the weekly candle, I was thinking price would be easy buys if it was London volume from around this area to go back up at least 50 pips. But this was a support zone that I had based on over here to the left. These two candles in the New York session. This one from the low to the open, that creates that zone. Plus Asian session on Thursday had a little doji candle. Sorry, Friday had a little doji low. So this was a spot that was ready to be taken. So buys made sense from this area if we could have kept them pushing down. Okay, a minute and a half left. Because it's Monday morning as well, not going to be super aggressive on the open of this candle. Just going to wait to see where London volume is going to take it. If it goes up, I think you'll get some sells easy enough. If it pushes down, I think you'll get some buys easy enough. Oh, see you, Eddie. I realized that in our study session on Saturday, the bloody Zoom put the videos across some of it again. I need to figure out how to stop that from happening. I might make a special just video by myself with all that, go over that trade management again, because I did miss multiple positions. Add in multiple positions to start with. Okay, 20 seconds. Not going to be aggressive, but you could take sells from the open to fill this wick. But I don't want to risk whatever this was going to be in here. Oh, it's going to take out that area, that target. Okay. Trying to not watch so many videos, get on the charts more. Yeah, that's a good idea. Ooh, you'll be very welcome, Deb. Lot size isn't too, like if you're just focusing on one thing, just think lot sizes for GER40. One standard lot equals one US dollar. If you trade gold, one standard lot is 10 US dollars. That's the mass really. It's easy if you're just doing one thing. So if you do one standard lot, use 20 pip stop loss, you're risking $20. Alright, so come on. Just push down. Just push into the sell zone. Come on, break the low. Look at this liquidity. Okay, it just needs to close under this candle now. We're gonna have another push down.
Good morning, Hayden.
Hey buddy, how are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
It was excellent, thanks. It was actually my partner's, our 7-year anniversary yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, let's go for a walk. She's like, nah, I just want to eat. So we had a pack of cookies and watch the show that she likes. How's yours?
Yeah, it was good. So on the GER40, I'm thinking if price able to take out the previous daily low. That was a doji candle.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I didn't want to. I didn't trust. There's a 2-hour candle. This 2-hour candle just here, I didn't trust it because on the 15-minute, it's a doji at the base of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can break underneath it, there's a really beautiful 4-hour zone. This was a previous 4-hour resistance. What do you think about that? This one.
It just
Just
can you
here.
open a big chart? Okay. Yeah. So if you're talking about the previously, can you go to the hourly first? First hourly. Okay. So if you look at this candle, so that candle started with the doji candle on the 3-minute. If you use a replay mode here, and just go into in this candle, you will see that candle started with a doji candle in 3-minute.
Oh, which one is it?
I think probably this one.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe go to the hourly again. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this candle, it started with the doji candle on 3-minute. So that means we have a liquidity below that candle. So if you go to the 3-minute now, 3-minute, you can see there. Date was 15 September. Time was.
Yeah, got it here.
Yeah, that one. Yes. So probably price gonna take out that thing, and then we will start moving into the upside.
Yeah, I think it did already.
Okay. Then maybe we can look further. But the daily low is important. Price has to take another daily low.
Yeah, the thing is, because we took it out already, so that was over here. Okay, so that's this line, this little thin black line, right here. And see how we took it out just by a little nipple. Now the thing is, that happened pre-London, so it's very unlikely that that's going to be the low of the day. So I really like this area, but I think it's going to be a trap for people buying too early, and we go further into this pocket before then we go up. Because of the timing. If this low was taken in London and then we pushed up, then I think we could probably go north. but the fact that it happened just before, and we had that move just before London, that this was a target to be taken for sells, and that I really like this area on the 4 hour. That this little, like the previous HCS, this zone here is make or break. This is a perfect buy zone for liquidity to then go up. London sweeps the euro low, sweeps the Asian low, takes the previous daily low, and if we find like support and reactions from here, then we can go north. Taking sells from the open here, that was a good, like this sign, this one here pushing up and flipping bearish, that was a perfect sell after it ripped high. Remember, like I was saying, like sells would be good to take here on the open, just got to wait for some sign. So ripped up, flip bearish, anticipation that was going to be a liquidity candle, and then that's a target right there. So confirmation, wait for it to close. Looking really good. Now this is going to become your little buy zone, I think, or it's not really a buy. It might not be a buy zone. It is a line in the sand. If we close below this, I think we're going further down. Hey, because if we break in, closing underneath this area, ways to the left, you've got so many clean candles here to target. But if it holds, we could push up into the daily wick, because I don't think we've also don't think we've made the high of the day. Did anyone take sells here? Secure. Yeah, secure some.
I've got two positions. The first one I'm taking 80% off. The second one's at break even, but having the full lot running. So.
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah, I grabbed. Should be about 40 pips up from the high. 36. Oh, Hitman got it as well. Beautiful. This is becoming I'm going to be looking for buys around here. If it gives me price action. Price action going to be 2 rejection wicks. One's not enough. Not in this zone. Not in that zone. I'm targeting something like this. Gotta try grab that other end. Sorry, let me 1 second. There we go. All right, what a move already.
Now on 1 minute, if the price is closing bullish one again, and if we get another retest to the downside, then this can be a final liquidity grab before we push to the upside.
Yeah, that'd be pretty. pop this in the Discord. It's a bit quick for me to take buys, but this, that would have been that sort of anticipation / confirmation after this doji. That would have been your cowboy anticipation. But it could be, yeah, I think if it was a little bit lower, like it would be nicer. But it could be, that could be it. In terms of structure to the left, you wouldn't want it to go that low. You'd want it to react somewhere inside of these wicks. Which it, come on. Where'd that wick go to? Yeah, see that, the wick's gone to this wick zone. So you'd want that to be the low if you're taking buys here.
Now you wanna see that a 1 minute turning bullish now.
Very tempting. It's almost coffee time. 20 minutes time. Okay. Still a lot of momentum to the downside. Remember that my confirmation to go long is going to be 2 rejection wicks, not just 1. Are you thinking of anything here actually? It's low risk.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting for the closing, 1 minute closing. Still not a good close on 1 minute.
Yeah. $15 minutes going to close heavy bearish. So you're going to have a little bit of more of a wick fill on the 15 minute. Just a little one. 30 minutes still well and truly open. If this is leaving like a long wick for the 30 minute, then this could be a hell of a move back up. So I'm going to get planning some little buys. Just got to find exactly when that is. Breaking the low, yeah, it's no good yet. So 15-minute candle close bearish. Done the wick fill now. First minute of the candle, first few seconds of the candle actually. We did that 15-minute wick fill. So look over this one. As soon as that 15-minute candle closed, always gonna be aware of your timing. 15-minute opened, wick fill immediately. But because it broke the low, you need to wait and see. This could be a bit of a cowboy entry going now. Prefer it to drop another 10 pips. Or from here, wait to give it at least like, if one of these wicks contains any buying momentum, you need to see price move away. If it's just making wicks and then keep on pushing down, then there's no buying momentum in the inside of these wicks. There's no liquidity, so you need price to tap into an area to grab that liquidity to go up. Yeah, so eating some more pancakes. Still hungry. Hungry for more pancakes. Maybe some maple syrup there. Maybe there's a healthy pancakes. Maybe the protein ones. Okay, come on. It's the make or break zone. So close, man. Come on. Was that a touch? It was. It touched the zone. What cowboys are here? Who took that? I bet there's one. Dave, yeah. Yeah, I knew there's one. At least one. Oh, and Todd. There's multiple cowboys here. Getting stuck in that zone is not a good idea. I mean, not good for that candle. It just bounced perfectly between it, didn't it? 11 pips. So cowboys, if you're good, you can potentially get that very low bit. But you don't need to get there. You could wait for it to show signs of turning around at this point, and then get in from here to take it back up and take the meat of the move. But there's a very good chance that this is the low. How did the 1 minutes look? Did the 1 minutes give you confirmation? There was an engulfing candle. Closed bullish. Pushed away. We don't really have a break of structure yet on the 1 minutes. 3 minute wicked up. Is it going to do a bit of a wick fill? Or we're going to go up now. Did we leave liquidity to the top side? Kind of. We still left a little tiny bit. So as it's flipping, this is a potential. Another. Actually, are you in this now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a little bit slippage, but let's see.
Mm-hmm. So if this is truly a grab of liquidity, this should be a low. Price won't want to push below that. But it might retest a couple times for them to position. So there's often multiple entries. Especially if we get a little doji here, then coming down, then retesting, and then you can go again. It got the sell I had to within 48 pips. I had my finger to try to take the screenshot at the 50. I was distracted. Okay, come on. Let's just push now. Push. Was that Glenn?
There's a small gap up then on the 1 minute.
Oh, I did it on Pepperstone.
One.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, open and then gapped up. That's a good sign. Okay. If you've missed the entry, I would say what you do is you pop your entry below these wicks for the retest. So something like that. It might react off of this guy. Because that was a negation candle. Very, very small time frame. Then we close below it. Then we push back up into it. Might react from the top of it again. And then it can go. Oh, look at that, another gap. Oof, heavy. Beautiful, guys. Up 20 pips now. Hey, Tom.
I close partial. I don't like this.
Don't like this bit
push
here?
to the
Bit too quick.
Yes.
Fast move could be the false move. But I think this was just a liquidity grab, hey?
Yeah. That's the first plan when we started the stream, that price wanna push downside, taken out liquidity, and then push all the way to the upside afterward.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom. Early bird got the worm here. 50 pips, or nearly 50 pip sells. 40, let's call it 40. 40 pip sells. And then it just reacted. This is pinpoint. Absolutely pinpoint.
Come on, push to the upside now.
Pinpoint zone. Not that I'm not claiming to be in these buys because I had those sells going. Very difficult for me to switch. So I waited for too much confirmation. Ivan's up 25 pips. Very good. Dave, Todd, where did you get into? Did you get the very low? Todd took 80%. Very nice.
Good job, Todd.
Morning, Hayden. Morning, Action.
Hey Mo, how are you, buddy?
Good. You?
Yeah, excellent, thanks.
Yeah,
Welcome.
First streaming with you. First swing.
Good to have you here.
Yeah.
You're just going to observe for a while, eh, German, but it reacts the same as gold.
Yeah, I'm trying. I've been all weekend going like checking the videos, the webinars. It's
Oh yeah.
quite overwhelming, to be honest, but it's trying to absorb all the information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the way we do the zones. I think if you do the zones, if you look at the zones and then look for price action based on like, and then there's like 4 different types of entries at those zones, then it simplifies it a bit more. But like when you're looking at the way price moves and you see like price moves stuff like that, I'll call this structure. Kerwin does the same thing, like second support, first support. Now the zones, what we're looking at is we're looking at the wicks at the top of the zones. And we're looking to see exactly where at the top or the bottom of the candles for specific ways that the candles react, with the wicks react. And then these create like higher probability zones of reactions. And then it's just about low time. It is low time frame, but like on the G drive, there's the 4 types of entries. You're just looking for that at one of these zones. And that simplifies it. Go on.
No, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Like for example, these was listening to you on the beginning of the stream. You mentioned these 2 zones that you were looking at.
Yeah.
So to me, I checked the 1 hour. Can you go to the 1 hour if you don't mind?
Sure. Yep.
So what I did is I simply highlighted this breather candle right here, just to sort of combine these 2 zones, and it seemed that it's the right choice, I think.
Yeah.
Because the price reacted exactly to the lower side.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, yeah, it combines this 4 hour zone or the high time frame zone that you're talking about, and also this, since we tested these 1 hour zone 2 times, I was like, can it be this 1 hour rectangle that I drew is possibly the most easiest one to spot, in your opinion?
Yeah. The thing is that zone, the breather candle that you highlighted here in the 1 hour, on the 5 minute, that would be a beautiful structure, because in the hour it formed the high, made the low in the next hour, and then it left that zone. So on the 5 minute, that's a perfect structure. So then what you're looking at inside of that structure, what we can do, if we can pinpoint a little bit more on the lower time frame, just to see if there were some like rejection wicks engulfing candles. Because if they were those kind of candles somewhere inside of this hour, then there'll be a little bit more. There'll be candles that have a little bit more liquidity than others. So this could then, you can refine and say, I'd still have a rectangle like that, like you had, and then just pinpoint where the lows could be, like little where wick ends are going to be. But that's if you see a run of candles on the 1 hour and then a pause and then a run up, that's a lower time frame structure that you want to look at in closer detail. But it's a shortcut, you know. You wouldn't be looking and saying, I don't need to look inside of this zone really for anything. But this zone, something happened that made price hesitate, so that's an area to target. All right, so I'm in buys now over here when it came down. I entered a little bit. See, yeah, like on this 1 minute, when it retested this wick area, I was hoping it was going to break these lows.
Not in the 50%, did you?
I just pushed by it at 1837.6. So my entry was here. So that's up 35 pips now. Holy.
Yeah, secure.
Yeah,
Monday thing.
My God, look at that volume.
It's a usual volume for German 40.
Yeah. Closing my runner for the other one, for their sells.
30 pips, 1 minute candle.
Yeah, mate.
Insane.
Holy, I'm well and truly done for the day now. That's
been a long time I didn't see this sort of volume in gold, to be honest.
oh man, this is so much nicer. So I just did 3% already.
I've just got back from work and I've missed it all.
There's going to be good moves. This is only the first half hour. Yeah, Mo, you're gonna love GER40 in terms of like I really loved gold for such a long time, but it's just been so frustrating the last like 6 months. And London is hopeless. In New York, it was great for many months, but it's just does the volume happen at 8 a.m. New York time? Does it happen at 9:30? Does it happen at 10? Does it happen at 11? You're just waiting so long. Where German, I would say we had 1 week over 2 weeks ago. Like not last week. Last week was fantastic. The week before was fantastic. The week before that one, the volume was, you had like a burst and then it did nothing for like 2 hours and then you got a good move. So that was really frustrating. But then the 2 weeks before that was just all bangers as well. When the volume is late, what you got to do is wait for a 15-minute candle. Same things that we're looking here on the 1 minute or 3 minutes. I prefer 3 minutes. But when the volumes come in late, just wait for a 15-minute reaction candle and then follow that one. Like, I'll show you that week. That week that was rough was... I think it was... I think it was this one. No, this one. Monday the 4th, the start of September. Price pushed up nicely from the start. And if you miss the first move, often what German will give you is like good moves both directions. There's double-sided volatility. Now, that's the first 15-minute candle. That is decent. After, and look at the time I'm done by 9:30 normally, so this one here was like 9:15 to 9:30, so it had a nice candle right at the end of the stream, but for whatever reason I probably couldn't have waited around too much longer. But that 15-minute candle gave the first time you had a candle closing bearish that broke the high of the candles to the left but then closed nice bearish, so you're not really sure if that's the candle that's going to have that selling momentum, not until you get a second one that breaks the high of the candles to the left and then closes back within the bodies or the wicks. Because this one is bullish, you're still not sure. But if you've got 2 rejection wicks or one that you're suspecting it could be a rejection wick, you might want to wait for a confirmation entry. Confirmation would just be wait for it to break support and then look for the downside. Especially if Asian's been bullish, Euro/London's been bullish, there's usually a correction within late London, or New York will be the reversal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then, so that was like, this day was frustrating because missed the buys and then just sat through mostly just sideways. So it just got too late. Then the next day, initial push down, and then just went sideways for the next like hour and a half. Only moved up nicely once you finally had a 15-minute beautiful candle that dipped into probably a zone of interest to the left. Finally one that broke the lows of the candles to the left and then closed nice and bullish. Then once it was breaking, I would have preferred it to have done a little retest to got in, but I think I might have got that one. I think I got a late entry on the way up, or maybe I got in, say, somewhere here once it broke above this wick for that to go upside. Because there's one day this week that was good.
I guess you don't take like impulse entries at all. For example, this 15-minute candle when it closed bearish, you started to get interested in getting some sales continuation as it broke the previous 15 minute and the wick.
Nah, bit too low for those sales for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know how German goes. German, if this is bearish here, and we've moved at that stage from the highs to the lows, once we've gone around 100, 140, 120 to 140 pips, unless there's a fundamental reason to keep on going down, you usually get reversal. So that's like the range, the general range. I'm looking for at least a 100 pip move from high to low. And then once it gets to 120 to 140, there's just not much more room to keep on going. Unless there's like a catalyst like employment news, GDP news. So at that stage, if you're looking for a reversal, you've got to wait for a 15-minute candle when the volume's coming late. Then we had this is just a trash day. Just terrible. Then the Thursday was I think I took a loss here after this candle when it came back up. And then the move, I couldn't wait around. I think this is the Thursday. I had a midwife appointment to go to at 11. And this is the candle. Yeah, I was driving when I saw this. That we finally got the 15-minute. Beautiful rejection candle. There was a zone up here. Look at the range from top to bottom. 145. From bottom to top, sorry. So that's to the upper end of the daily range. So look for reversals. A zone up here, 15-minute reaction candle, all one-way traffic, so you're going to get a reversal. Well, the chances are you get that reversal. So that would have been, I think guys got that sell. I definitely know people got that sell. Then the Friday was really clean, but then the time, HCS. And then for the reversal, getting towards the end of the London Open, so after the first couple of hours, you had beautiful 15-minute reaction. Look at the range again from top to bottom, 212 pips. This was, I'm not sure, this Freaky Friday. There wasn't NFP, that was something crazy. Oh, I took a loss in this one as well, actually. I remember taking a loss. I was looking for a buy here. And I was looking for a buy under here somewhere, and I took an aggressive 1-minute entry, and then I took the buys again once it pushed down. But I remember this rinsed me first, and then took those buys later on. Yeah.
So Mo, I think it's a new strategy for you. So do one thing, like try to find out 3 liquidity. First one is doji candle liquidity, and then second will be double bottom or double top.
Double top.
Yes. So then third is trend line liquidity. Trend line liquidity is like this is a trend line liquidity. So these 3 are the liquidity, and you have to find out where is the liquidity is sitting on higher time frame, and based upon that you are trying to see is there anything HCS or any kind of setup is forming in that liquidity direction. Because price always gonna move from one liquidity area to another liquidity area. So you just have to find out like let's going into the 4 hour, and on 4 hour you have to find out where is the liquidity sitting, next liquidity. Is it upside or the downside? And then hourly or 45 minutes or 2 hours gonna give you direction that where we are going. Are we going to the upside or the downside just for that session?
Yeah.
And usually the entry will be in 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. These are the entry time frames.
I grasped like enough ideas. I think Sabu shared with me a couple PDFs. So I know that the doji, the FU candle, what do you mean by it? The imbalance as a to target an imbalance for liquidity. I've started to grasp enough concepts so that I can know what you're actually aiming for and the whole idea. It's a little bit different than gold. We usually target for like momentum and impulse entries and all that, but right here it's trying to pick up an early entry when you can have like the.
I mean, you can do this thing on gold also. So in NY session, I'm doing this thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the momentum entry that you're looking at can be like you've got so much information there and you know that there's a bit more upside. Yeah. And that would be a scale in entry if you've managed to get an early entry based on like at these zones. So like I quite like those if you can get those late entries with when you've got all that information and you can already have a position running, then you can like use that as a scale in opportunity. And like it's such a skill to have what you're taking on the momentum entry to be able to scale in.
Yeah.
And if you can get an even earlier entry as well, even if it's just like, you know, small position, just trying to get like these extremes of these moves, then man, those two skill sets together would be so amazing. Like I struggle with those late entries because I feel like the move's already done. I really like getting into a zone which is just tapped into fresh, and then knowing that there's going to be a high probability of that release. Keep the stop small, huge upside in terms of like risk reward. Yeah, it looks like we're going back down again. Failed to break.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, if you look at here on gold, this is the daily chart. So this was a liquidity here on daily. This is the daily liquidity on the doji. Once price grab liquidity and we form this candle, you already got the idea that we want to continue pushing upside afterward to next liquidity. Next liquidity is right away here then. So you can even get a swing entry if you're able to spot out the higher time frame. Like I wasn't streaming on that day on this candle, but if you look at what happened after, we just grab higher time frame liquidity, doji candle liquidity, and now we are pushing into the upside. And where is the next liquidity? Here, as well as at the top here, we have a liquidity there. This is a doji candle liquidity again in the daily also here. So price, that's why price always move from one liquidity area to another liquidity area. You just have to patiently wait for price to tap that liquidity area and going into the lower time frame for the entry, like anticipating that the hourly or the 15-minute or the 4-hour candle gonna close in your direction.
I saw your Friday trade on Instagram. It was amazing. Good job. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one. You put it on Insta, did you? Actually.
Yeah.
I don't have your Insta. I don't think.
Yeah, Akshay FX, same name.
Okay. I'll give it a follow.
The difference is we try to enter like fairly after the 4-hour close, where you already entered at the low, and we have to wait for the 5-minute and then go impulsive for continuation. And
the problem with the continuation entry is you are not holding it for longer period, like you are getting 20-30 pips, and because there is always possibility price can come back to your entry before it push to the upside.
Yeah, that's such a pain, knowing like you're in the right area, but you know it's probably not going to have that continuation push without at least coming back to entry once, twice, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking good now. Come on, break this high. Don't come back here again. Remember so this is what I was saying, like this cowboy entries. I love it when it just gives a very good move away, but this is the least probable situation where it just moves down to a zone and then just pushes away without coming back. Most of the time it does this as it's trying to build its order. So you've got more time, you know, we've always got time.
So I think did you saw that negation video, Haydos?
I didn't get a chance. I'm gonna watch it.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
I checked.
so
I started watching like the first few minutes, and then partner wanted some partner time.
So in that this was a single candle negation, price close below, but this is our higher time frame zone. So until unless you are getting confirmation after price break that high area one more time, that means we want to continue pushing to the upside. Like negation can happen everywhere, but the important was where is you are looking at the price action zones. So after price breaking that zone, price pushed to the upside, we came back. My entry was here, so that's why I closed, and my runner got stopped out here on this. But it's just a Monday thing. Usually I don't wanna risk that much on Monday.
Yeah, get some runs on the board. So if we close below this guy, those close below here, especially on a 3 minute, maybe not 1 minute, could be a fake out, but if it's closing below here, that's your easy target, and then maybe we get that continuation down. But until that, this is your support zone. So as long as price can, if I was Ted, let's say price has got no reason to go through here, wait for all the time frames. Then if I was someone else, say we'll put a stop like this. We'll target this. 750 lots.
No, that's not. So at least 10 pips. You have to put it 10 pips.
Isn't 3 enough? 3 is enough.
Yeah, 5 pips.
5 pips, 750 lots.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the washing machine part of the trade. You're in the tumble
The
dry.
anticipation is hourly gonna close bullish one. That's the anticipation. We still have like 11 minutes. If the hourly able to close bullish one, then we grab enough liquidity, and now we are ready to push to the upside.
Yeah. I think all of this lower time frame stuff, the main thing is like, where are you on the higher time frame? That's the most important thing. And like, just get used to drawing. Like, I really think these zones are just powerful as. And like, just like 4 hour rejection wick, broke the high of the previous candle, closed bearish, little push away, followed by a retest, big push away. So this is a manipulation zone. And then just go from the high of candle number 1 to the open and draw that as your zone. You can do that on any time frame. When you've got higher time frame areas and price is at the base of this area, the base of this candle, the wick is where the manipulation happens. That's you know, if you close below it, you're going down. If you reject from the bottom of it, going up. And you get some, you know, those cowboy entries. 10 pip stop from under here for 50 pips, 5 to 1. Or know that you don't need to take cowboy entry. You get multiple opportunities generally. How many times you get into a trade, move to break even, stops you out for break even, then goes. So that's why, like, you can delay your entry.
Yeah. So the entry that you took is an HCS, right?
Actually, would take that. I'm more just if it's in the zone, and I'm seeing, and yeah, I'm more like anticipation kind of, so similar, but like if you get like the little dojis, or this is like a little bit of you know, price is pausing here for like in this 3 minute chart, pause here for 6 minutes. Anticipation entry would be that we're rejecting the low and we're going to close bullish. So I'm not really looking for HCS or anything like that. This would be anticipation, trying to get in, and it's going to be scary as hell. Buying something that looks so bearish. Anticipation / confirmation would be when it's like it's wicked down and it's showing signs of rejection. Now it's flipping bullish, kind of like Raja, how he would be trading the 30-minute candle. And then confirmation will wait for this candle to close. Once it closes bullish like that, can enter. And then what you're doing is you're anticipating that we've pulled enough liquidity so that your higher time frame, 30-minute, 1 hour, that's going to start closing bullish, and that you're in the base of the wick, rather than waiting for 30-minute to close like above here. to go up.
So if you look at here, this was a FU candle here, this was the attempted FU. So we kind of created a range up and down, negation. So if price able to close above, then we will continue. We have a double top here also. So we can continue push to the upside, and the anticipation is hourly on a close bullish one. And now if you open that second chart, so on second chart, we created HCS here. And this was the single candle negation here. So once price closing above, and this was if you go into the left side, this is a 5-minute HCS below this low. So we have a HCS here on 5-minute. So price got a reaction from that, price pushed to the upside, and this was after negation. You have to wait for price to pull back. You do not necessarily price has to break this doji sometimes because they want to left some liquidity, because once they created a HCS here, that means they are not interested to take out liquidity. Either if they want to take out the upper side liquidity, maybe here, and maybe then afterward coming back one more time, one more swing, and then start moving into the upside.
It's coming down now. It's...
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is the spin cycle of the washing machine. Up and down, up and down. So we're getting close to the hour close now, so let's just see what the hour is going to close like.
Yeah, if the hourly is closing bearish one, then we have to wait for the next hourly candle to do the manipulation to again push to the upside.
Yeah, because once the hour candle closes, it gives you good information into, you know, if it's closing like this. Oops, sorry. If it's closing like this, you would expect there's going to be some wick fill. All right, you know what time it is? Coffee time.
Yeah, Glen Profit time. Coffee. Get some.
Yeah, when I go for coffee, reversal happens.
Wine time in Australia.
Wine time. Holy.
It's the evening.
It is.
The day does end in Y. You may as well.
Yeah. Every day ends in day. I'll have a coffee. I'll have a beer.
So this was a 5-minute HCS on the left side, and this was a liquidity. You can see price took out that liquidity and retested to this HCS.
5 minute. This is in your time, isn't it?
On left side. Yeah, yeah.
So this is this New York session still. Yeah. I was going to say, if that was my time, that's the close. But that's New York time.
Yeah, it was 12:30 time.
Yeah, New York time.
New York.
Beautiful negation.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go grab a coffee. Watch this hour candle, see how it's going to close. I'll put it back on all charts. 30 bottom left. 3 minutes bottom right. Now we're back organized again. All right, I'll be right back.
another HCS from 1 3 minute here. But thing is, price has to break this thing. Then we will continue pushing into the upside. Hourly also going to close in 1 minute now.
So I guess that indicator is very useful for you, actually, right? The casino indicator.
Yeah. Gym indicator.
Alrighty. So our just closed. 30 closed is a little inside. 1 hour closed is a little bearish candle with a longer wick.
Still that can call as attempted FU from downside. We close inside. We took out the previous candle low.
Yeah, and close back inside the wick. There's got to be some momentum to the downside though. Can't just push up with no bottom wick. It's a nice range though. I mean, it hasn't moved far. Little fake out here, but there's been some decent 30 to 40 pip up and down, up and down. It looks like it's getting a bit tighter, doesn't it? Making these lower highs and making these higher lows. So it's making a bit of a bottom wick now. See where it's going to go. What's around the grounds doing? Gold's had a bit of a pullback, 40 pips. Oh, pound Aussie's still stuck in this area. Let's have a look at that. So, got down to, took out the Asian low. Okay. Very nice. Gold. Let's have a look at gold. So a bit of structure here. And I'd want to see these wicks up here to see if there's like a little resistance created in Asian, because once you can close below that, then you've got a little bit more of a cleaner run to push down into this zone and see what's happening to these wicks underneath. If this is going to push up like that, or is it going to keep on going down for the Asian low. GU's dropping, is it?
No, it's at 4-hour support, but yeah, new 4-hour candle.
Mm-hmm.
It did drop nicely, flip of the floor.
Yeah, GU dropping nicely means UK 100 going up. So just a tight little range for that. No wick on this candle. No wick. So it's going to come down to these areas at some stage. Yeah, I'm keen on pound Aussie, but maybe maybe underneath 1.92. Got a little doji here. Germans pushing down nicely into the zone again. So this 15-minute candle now becomes quite important. What happens inside the wick of this 15-minute candle? So if we can get, maybe in an hour's time, we can get like another rejection, close bullish. Then if we see 2 successful liquidity candles, resistance should break. So late entry, if we close above some wicks, if we create some wicks around here, and then we can close above. Ideal if you can get entry from here, but price is sort of drifting down. If we can get something closing back above here, then you've got wicks to target to the top side. Red zone's like a magnet. Yeah, this is a huge liquidity pool right here. It takes time for the big boys to position themselves. They just don't do one push the button. So they're going to constantly be buying and selling into the zone. This is when you see like that compression. But I think best thing you do is like plan your trade before the open. Know that London's going to manipulate stuff. They're going to like break lows. They're going to sweep a session high or low. And then think about your daily range. At the moment, we could still push lower because we've only gone from high to low. Only done 77 pips. So we've still got plenty more room to the downside if it wanted to. Or can it finally create that support? And then we'll look for around 130 pips from low to high, which would push you into these monthly levels. Potentially even get into this resistance zone up here. This, you have to say that's an order block on the higher time frame, or that is your actual order block. If you go with the last bullish candle before the push down, so that would be 140 pips from low to high. That could be a daily range, but the way it's looking, this is your make or break line. Depends on what happens here. If we close below it, we might be setting up those buys for later in the week. If it pushes up from here, the stock market's just bullish all the time. So I'd probably need more information to decide where we're going to go later in the week if we just do a liquidity grab to push up on the back of the ECB signaling the end of the rates. Oh, sorry. So you may have missed it, but zero long, but ask Tom. My bias initially for just for today, I haven't decided yet for the rest of the week because we've got bank interest rates, and today's Bank of Japan, the Japanese bank holiday. So I wasn't really sure about the Asian range. But my bias today was sells into this zone, buys from this zone. So from sells down to here, and then looking for buys. That was my bias. For the weekly bias, I've got conflicting signals. The weekly chart is based on the weekly. You would think that there's going to be bullish momentum. Based on the daily, you would think that there's some selling momentum if this wick has grabbed liquidity from up here. I like if this could start flipping bullish and then start pushing up, then this could just keep on pushing above these wicks up into this zone again. But this area was the key because there's a beautiful H4 resistance right here, and that resistance can become support on the retest. That's as far as my ideas got for a Monday morning. The more we project to the future, the more scenarios you need to uncover. Like, say we had Asian session, Euro session, and then we've got the start of the week. And of the scenarios that we could do, I was pretty confident in two of them. but there's always going to be like a potential third scenario that may play out, something unexpected. We'll just call this the unexpected one. Unexpected scenario. There could be more, but let's just call this the unexpected. And then we had sell to buy, or we had sell to break under support and then to sell again. Now, depending on what happens with one of these scenarios, this could lead to another thing that would have 3 other scenarios inside of it. Oh no, let's just do it. So whatever one of these happened, there could be another 3 scenarios. Depending on which one happened. And then you can just see how projecting too far into the future, you're going to get, it gets very difficult because you're starting to have to think about so many different options that may happen. So it's best just to see if one thing happens and say we start following this path up here, sell to buy, and then we get to this situation. Now I can start planning what the next 3 scenarios may be based on what happened here. And then it could be from here, rather than trying to anticipate all these different scenarios based on what's going to happen on Thursday. Who knows which way it's going to have gone. You've got cam breakout short at 15828. That's your cam sell level. 15828. Yeah, that makes sense. That's hey Luke, how are you? This was my 4 hour. If we're closing underneath this guy, I'd be looking for retest sells for sure. Am I trading only on ICT? No, nothing with ICT.
Yeah, too complicated to understand.
Yeah, the videos are way too long. Some of the I think with anyone, there's going to be some names that are catchy, from like Raja with his clean candles, clean traffic, flips, all that kind of stuff. ICT with order blocks, fair value gaps. That casino with the
Candle.
FU candles. What's the other one? HCS. Those things. They're all the same thing, really, aren't they? They're all.
And everything works. I think everything was just you have to find out how many times this thing works and how many times this does not work.
Yeah, I mean, engulfing candles, liquidity candles. Is there a difference? Not too much.
Yeah.
It's just how you see it and how you gather your thoughts in your mind. Okay, so looks like we're coming down over here, hey?
I hope so.
Are you in sales?
I've got to run it. I've been bearish all day. I've had, I think, 5 entries so far that keep taking profit, getting stopped out.
Oh yeah.
My last runner's still going.
Now this is the area you wanna see price reaction and then start pushing into the upside, because this is the last area of liquidity. So now if the 3-minute or 5-minute is closing bullish one, then we will continue pushing into the upside. We don't have to break the previous hourly low also. We can just continue pushing upside from this area also.
Yeah, you don't want it to be doing that if that's the case. So the 1 minutes, this was the area underneath these wicks. I was like, you might get a really good move from under those wicks, these dojis. Because that was where before we pushed away with where price was gapping. Now price has come back and taken that liquidity.
I'm not taking, but this one is looking good now to the upside. Based upon 1 minute also.
Alan just took a anticipation there. Nice work. Go on, actually. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no. I'm saying even on 1 minute also we form HCS here after this candle close. And we also took out this last area of liquidity. So we took out everything. Now, if price respecting that low, then we will continue pushing upside. If price breaking that low, That means we want to continue pushing downside, then grabbing more liquidity.
Yeah.
I sent a one chart. That's the only thing I want to see based upon today daily candle.
This one?
Yeah, that one. So I wanna see like this was a doji candle previous daily,
I know what you're talking about.
and I wanna see price breaking that low and then closing bullish one. So we will continue pushing upside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's if this. That's with this doji. If you're seeing this flip bullish, if it's closing above this doji high, you got a fairly clean bias then for the rest of well, at least for Tuesday, Wednesday. Cool. Well, I think we've had a fantastic morning. Nigel bias for the day was sell to 15,750. If we can close below 15,826, then Nigel, I think your bias for the day is going to be very, very good. Luke's got a cam breakout level here as well. Like a like a pivot, isn't it? Like a pivot.
So, Hayden.
Yes.
From what you said, I don't think that you pay that much attention to the break of the previous 4-hour highs and lows, because that's what I was looking to actually pay attention to, since I saw these reaction right here. These are basically reacting from the previous 4-hour low, which is 15,874 exactly. I think this is the level.
Okay, so it's this candle here. Yeah, this is the 4-hour low. This candle.
Can you switch to the 4-hour just so that we can be a little bit more precise? Yeah. So this is the low that I am talking about. The bullish low. Yeah. So we had this wick to the upside. I was like, if we're breaking to the downside, I mean, there is no upside. But eventually, you took the buys, and it was very successful. But like from a momentum standpoint, if you see this rejection and then price breaking previous 4-hour low, the two previous 4-hour low, you should be looking normally for sales. Am I right or wrong? I don't know.
No, I think it's right. It's so this is a support. So when we break that support, the support become a resistance, and because this is one liquidity point, and if we're breaking, like it's grabbed liquidity, it's got to offload it now somewhere. So where that's going to offload it to, the next liquidity point. So then it ping-ponged, like it went, grabbed liquidity, pushed down to an area. This was another area. Then price can bounce from it to then retest it and then go down again if it needs to, if there is liquidity left over still here. Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense, what you're talking about. To look for momentum to the downside if we're breaking this 4-hour candle, if this is a support candle. Yeah.
But that's what I used to highlight, especially on London. I highlight the 4-hour highs and lows, the previous 4-hour.
Yeah.
And I highlight the current 4-hour flip, and I just see when price breaks the range, and I go with the momentum.
Mo, you can do one thing, like going into the lower time frame there and trying to, if you already got a bias that you are only looking for sell, then going into the lower time frame and trying to find out any kind of manipulation on lower time frame that can reduce your stop loss also. Instead of putting stop loss here, you can put your stop loss in the lower time frame in this candle also.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying though as well. Like, this one, if this is the same candle, the second candle of the day, and then once it broke here, that if it bounced off of this area, came back up on the lower time frame, gave you some entries here, you're going to the momentum to keep going down.
Yeah, and a higher time frame already give us ideas. Like here we have HCS. This HCS was anticipation HCS. Even that day also we talk about this thing, like we can creating HCS, anticipating that 4-hour gonna close in our direction.
Sorry, actually, keep going.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So 4 hour gonna close. So now price. So same thing you can say if on lower time frame you are already got an idea that if once price breaking that low, then going into the lower time frame here and trying to find the manipulation to keep your minimum stop loss, because at the end of the day we wanna get that higher RR, not just pips, because some people can put taking sell here, keeping their stop loss here, and they are targeting this thing. But we wanna keep minimum stop loss with big RR, because even if your win rate is 50%, you are still gonna be profitable if your RR is good. So I mean, you can mix this thing, like try to find out you don't have to change everything with your previous strategy. You just have to add something extra in that layer and make your own way of looking into the chart, like adding FU candle or attempted FU candle here, and but the thing is you have to backtest that thing, how many times that thing happen, and then you can get a confidence that this thing works. I don't have to change my complete strategy. I just have to add something extra, something more confirmation. Like if you look at here, this was if you look at here, this was a attempted FU candle form here. So this give you already the stop loss for you, that until unless price is breaking this thing, I don't have to change my bias. I can stay bearish. Once price breaking above, then I can change my bias. Once price coming back into retracement, wait for the manipulation to again start moving into the upside. So just use the FU, attempted FU, for your extra confirmation with your current bias. If you are only looking at based upon 4 hour high and low break, but anticipating that the candle gonna close in your direction based upon lower time frame, you always get a better RR with that.
Other thing I'd like to add as well is if you've got your 4 hour candle and the 4 hour candle's looking like the 4 hour candle in this situation looked like, no, it was a bit smaller body, wasn't it? It looked like that. Then, because you're pointing out already the high and the low as areas of interest for you. Now, on a lower time frame, see if at some stage near the highs or the lows, that if price is flipping bearish and now you're looking for it to sort of come back and retest, were there in this 4 hour candle, were there some like supports created by like rejection wicks like this?
Yeah, FU candle or HCS, you can say. If HCS is formed there, for example, let's say this was a HCS here, so then you marking that zone. After price broke that thing, you use that zone for the confirmation entry.
Yeah. So say so that would be like you'd have a support zone here then, because price pushed into it and then followed by bullish momentum, retested it, bullish momentum. So it created a support or manipulation zone. Once we close out of that now, then that support zone is your resistance now. And you might then say, you might find in this 4 hour candle, you might find that zone might be a little bit higher up. And then on the retest of the next bearish, like when you're looking for that retest, it might actually wick up a little bit higher and you might get a bit more accuracy as well into like the actual high. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So you're just trying to anticipate, like I like the 4 hour, like what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I think it's good. And then like if you're trying to add another string to the bow, how like these rejection wicks happen, then looking at the wicks on the lower time frame, you might be able to pinpoint just exactly where that support is. A little bit like more precise, even if it's like a few pips higher. The good thing about this is that you've got a fairly well-defined area for stop loss. Like if this is the 5-minute rejection wick candle.
I think that's the reason behind why you took the sell here, Hayden, right?
The more the reason why is just because the low, like we started pushing down quite quite a lot in the I guess it's almost the same thing. I was looking at something slightly different, that the German session pushed down quite quickly, just pre-London, and then made a doji and then retraced. And we had no top wicks on these candles. So to me, what that meant was price came back to where they had the no top wicks, and that there was very unlikely that this is going to be the low of the day. Very unlikely. So it made sense that on the London volume having pulled back, that London's going to at least try sweep this. And there's enough room to take a successful trade here. So going with London volume ripped up high, got close to these no wicks, and then you just, the probability is we're going straight down.
Yeah.
But I would have missed some things that other eyes would have picked up, for sure. Or like, you come to the same conclusion for a trade. We're just using maybe slightly different reasoning to get to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
It's just how consistent you can be on, or how confident you can be on making the idea, and then just having the confidence just to go with it. Don't let anyone else sway you from what you're seeing. You just execute on your idea, and then at least have that idea that you made, have enough information that got you to that idea that you can then go and say, well, after the dust has settled, how can I do like a post-mortem on it, and then work out where I did, what I could have done better, what I did well, and did I miss anything?
Yeah.
And then have enough of an idea that you can recreate this idea from a day-to-day basis. And there's going to be there's always a few days every month I'm like, I've got no idea what's going to happen. So I've just got to wait until something pops out. But yeah, no, I would think, even myself personally, I would like to learn more about what you're talking about with the 4 hour. Like sometimes I feel like the 4 hour candle, I could probably use that 4 hour candle going into London a little bit better myself.
Yeah.
We've always got things to work on.
Hayden, can you open the image I sent?
Yep.
Okay, so for example, this was a HCS. Previous HCS was this one. This, you can call this as a attempted FU from the downside as well as upside. Price next candle, again this candle.
When's this? This is a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So this candle took out the previous candle low and retested to that attempted FU and closed bullish one. And after price breaking that thing, this was a zone it created. It already available on the indicator also.
Oh, this is your negation, yeah.
Yes, and after that you have to find out entry in the lower time frame. This one is a 15-minute chart, but you can find it on the any time frame here. And if you can you open the second image?
This one?
Yes. Okay, so even here, this was a previous HCS was here. Price broke that HCS. That means they want to continue pushing upside. Now, after breaking that thing, you can clearly see how price reacted to that zone. Price was acting as a support. So you can use this thing like a price push to the upside, breakout, then retest, and then again looking for entry from that zone. After price breaking that zone to the, let's say after breaking the low here, then you can use that zone for manipulation for the entry for the downside again. But important part is you should have clear bias. Are you bullish or bearish based upon higher time frame?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is looking. So as soon as we close below this zone.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah. Really good. So that zone was the line in the sand. Awesome. Well, I think it's 9:30. I think I'm gonna call it there. I think give myself enough time to chill out, and then we've got the New York session later on. Hopefully, catch more winners. Otherwise, the day's done. Really, no one needs a trade anymore. If you took a trade in the London session already.
I use a different account in London session and different account in the NY session.
Yeah, different accounts. Yeah. This is what a beautiful day. Even if it just looks like trash on the 15 minute, this was a beautiful day on the lower time frames.
Yeah, GER40 is actually a beauty.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm gonna end the YouTube there. What's this? Wasn't ready to do that. Oh, school holidays. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, thanks, Deb. Thanks, all the YouTube audience. Appreciate you guys. Take care, okay? Trade safe.